The day Grandpa's leg got snapped by a bunch of fake HOA thugs trying to extort our land. I made one call and within the hour, 20 cousins on roaring Harleys stormed through the gates with one mission: burn their scam to the ground and make every last fraud regret ever crossing our family. It started on a hot Tuesday morning when Grandpa Joe was trimming the hedges by the mailbox, just the way he always had for the past 42 years, long before HOAs were even a thing in our sleepy little town of Pine Bluff. His home sat peacefully on the corner of Willow Drive and Sunset Hollow, nestled into a patch of old pine trees and dusted with the smell of his infamous backyard smoker that had fed neighbors, friends, and anyone needing a warm plate since the 70s. But that morning, while Grandpa was busy doing nothing more than being the community's unofficial mayor, a group of clipboard-wielding strangers pulled up in a white SUV with a fake-looking Willow Heights HOA decal slapped on the side. No one had ever heard of them before. No one voted them in. But that didn't stop them from stomping onto Grandpa's yard like they owned it, spewing nonsense about code violations, unauthorized landscaping, and a $1,200 fine for property disfigurement. Grandpa, stubborn as a mule, and with more heart than half this town put together, wasn't about to let strangers threaten him on his own land. He told them where they could shove their paperwork and tried to walk away, but one of them, a bulky, angry-looking guy in khakis and a knockoff security badge, grabbed Grandpa's arm and shoved him. He stumbled, but that wasn't enough for them. The guy lifted a metal baton from his belt, yes, a baton, and cracked it against Grandpa's shin. I don't know what kind of authority they thought they had, but the sickening snap echoed across the street like a firework on the 4th of July. Grandpa collapsed to the ground, screaming in pain, blood soaking his socks as neighbors rushed out in horror. The fake HOA team scrambled back into their car and sped off before anyone could stop them. I was at work when I got the call, and within minutes, I was tearing down the highway, knuckles white against the wheel. But it wasn't just me. See, Grandpa Joe didn't just raise kids, he raised a legacy. I've got 22 cousins, and a good chunk of us ride. We're not a gang. We're a family on wheels: veterans, mechanics, off-duty cops, ex-firefighters, and one or two guys who don't exactly talk about what they do for a living. We grew up on the back of Harleys, holding on to Uncle Roy as he led barbecues that turned into bonfires. And when one of us gets hurt, we all feel it. That night, we gathered in the garage behind my shop. I stood at the front, holding up a photo of Grandpa in the hospital, leg in a cast, bruised ribs, pain on his face I hadn't seen even during his chemo treatments 5 years ago. They didn't just break his leg, I said. They thought they could break our family. Nobody said a word. Then my cousin Jock's former military, with a beard that could scare off a mountain lion, revved his bike so loud the walls shook. One by one, the others followed. The roar of engines was our war cry. The next day we began digging. Turns out this so-called HOA wasn't real. They were a group of scammers posing as a neighborhood association to extort elderly homeowners. They'd already hit 5 other houses across town, slapping people with fake fees, intimidating them into compliance, even getting signatures under false pretenses. But nobody had fought back, until now. My cousin live tracked the SUV's plates to a P.O. box and a burner address in an abandoned office complex. Jocks installed a dash cam at Grandpa's gate. I pulled every favor I had from a buddy at the DMV and got names, photos, and addresses. Within 48 hours, we had a dossier, and we weren't calling the cops, not yet. This was family business. That Friday, 20 of us rolled deep chrome gleaming, leather vests stitched with blood before bureaucrats. We didn't need weapons. Our presence alone turned heads, especially when we parked in front of the so-called HOA headquarters, a converted trailer behind an old gas station. We walked in calm, civil, but with the pressure of a freight train behind every step. The lead scammer, a guy named Brent, whose LinkedIn once claimed he was a compliance enforcement specialist, tried to bluff us with legal jargon. I tossed a folder on his desk with everything: the injuries, the fake papers, the shell companies. Then I leaned in and said, "We're giving you one chance to undo everything. You refund every dollar you stole, issue public apologies to your victims, and turn yourself in, or you'll wish Grandpa had been the only thing broken." Brent laughed. Wrong move. The second he smirked, my cousin D flipped the desk with one arm and pinned him to the wall with the other. I could hear the whimper in his throat before he started begging. We got it all on video. Confession, apology, names of the others. By Sunday, the footage was viral on local Facebook groups. Residents from all across the state shared it, and the real police couldn't ignore it any longer. Turns out, there was already a quiet investigation open on the group, but they'd lacked evidence until now. They raided 3 properties, found counterfeit documents, stolen checks, even tasers and batons like the one they used on Grandpa. But the part that no one forgot was the image of those 20 Harleys lined up outside the county sheriff's office as we escorted Brent in, hog-tied and crying. Grandpa cried when he saw the news that night, happy tears, the kind that roll slow and quiet. "You boys always were louder than reason," he chuckled, gripping my hand. "But damn if you didn't do it right. We didn't just get justice, we made it loud. And that was only the beginning."